Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we're here with the first episode of Pluto again for the channel. If you're new here, hey Justin, tell everyone who you are.
Yes, I'm Justin. On the internet, I am found anywhere you want to look at one bad roll. I used to be involved with the channel a little bit before it transitioned over to Stoneface Reactions, but I'm very new to anime. Enjoying the ride so far, and here to get a perspective and let everyone see how a beginner takes in these lovely, lovely shows.
Now, anyone on the channel might recognize that we started Pluto before. Obviously, Griffin's not here anymore, so we're starting it again, this time with new perspectives. Well, obviously my perspective ain't gonna be new, and it wasn't really new when we started either. But Justin's is going to be doubly new. So maybe double new versus no new makes one new. I think
Uh,
that's how math works.
yeah, 100%.
Well, let me inform you. Pluto is a Netflix anime that is something of a tribute to the. Have you ever heard of Astro Boy?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Pluto is a tribute to Astro Boy. They wanted to do it, I think, on a 25-year release for something. I can't remember. The thing is that Astro Boy is basically the first anime that got public release on television.
Okay.
So 1963. And before me and Griff originally watched the first episode, I went out and I did a recording of me watching the very first 1963 episode of Astro Boy. And Pluto here is actually an 8 episode series, I guess we would say, OVA maybe,
hmm
based on one storyline of the 1963 Astro Boy, which I'm now trying to remember. It was a lot easier back when it was closer to it. Episode 177 and 178 of the original series, which was World's Greatest Robots. Now, I also watched those two back to back to prep myself for this back when we were originally recording it, so it's a bit distant in my head now. But the thing is that they never what do you call it? Subtitled it. They never
Got it.
translated it. So I just literally watched it in Japanese, had no idea, had to fill in thoughts and ideas on my own, trying to figure out what happened. So I don't know exactly what happens here. I mean, I know visually what I saw happen,
Yeah.
but it's like if you were like, say, if you went to Japan and saw two people fighting, and then had to describe to the cops what happened, right? Like, I think they got into a fight over, I don't know, they were standing in front of a restaurant, maybe a bill? I don't know.
Uh,
That sort of thing.
got
That's
it.
how. So I know the sequence of events, orders of events. However, once again, those were two 24-minute episodes in 1963 versus these hour-long episodes. And I guess
Understood.
for your benefit, I've only watched the first 2 episodes. So in this 8 episode span, everything else is still a mystery.
Hell yeah.
I can't really ask you what your expectations would be because I can't show you the trailer. The trailer would be spoil heavy. I mean, otherwise, I guess you know what Astro Boy is. So sorry, the long pause there. I didn't know what to say.
It's all good.
How much of Astro Boy do you know?
I know what Astro Boy is.
Okay, so you know the genre.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think that's basically it then. I don't know what else I could say about this in an intro. One, you're either new here, in which case you're probably just here for the show, or two, you're a returning visitor and you want to see how Justin reacts to the first episode of Pluto. In which case, let's go ahead and get into it.
Absolutely. Let's get her.
But before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. Just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra. Yeah, they do say that once you start the manga, it's impossible to put it down.
Interesting.
Well, you mean you
Crisp
see,
opening so far.
yeah, they're doing the Marvel thing just with the comic pages, like Marvel used to do.
Hmm. Always put out your campfires, kids.
Yeah, you make a long dead bear cry.
ダメです博士、もっと増やせないのか。このままじゃここらの山は全滅だ。くそ、一体なんでこんな勢いで。
Because that's what forest fires do.
Well, I mean, they're confused by why it's spreading so fast, so.
なんだこりゃ。木が根こそぎ。何か墜落したのか。いえ、そんな報告は受けてません。モンブラン、モンブラン。ラインハルト博士、私のモンブラン。博士、離せ。ダメです博士、これ以上は危険です。途切れてるんだ、途切れてるんだよ、モンブランとの通信が。
Thank you for not letting the scientist run into the forest fire.
I don't know, it might have been kinder. For a minute, I was legit trying to remember, does Pluto have an opening? I don't think it does. By the way, that's my guy in the overlay.
It looks like he might not have slept too well.
Well, I mean, that was either what, a nightmare or a memory.
One of the two.
大丈夫、心配ないよ。ご覧のように2日経った今も白い煙が吹き上がり、ところどころで炎が上がっています。事故調査委員会の発表では、この大規模な山火事の中か
I
ら
guess for clarification,
林野庁所属の
worldwide
モン
show.
ブランさんが
So,
バラバラの
if you
状
see a
態で
bunch of different
発見された
languages, it's intentional.
Got it.
モンブランさんは山案内ロボットとしても世界的に知られており、大勢の登山客や子供たちとの交流を深めながら、自然と共存する森林伐採のプランを熱心にプログラミングしていました。愛されたモンブランさんの死を悼む声が世界中から届いています。
Yeah, you can only watch the news for so long.
はい、ゲジヒトです。
Yeah, that's true.
はい、わかりました。すぐに行きます。仕事だ。出かけるよ。
でも朝食が。
I mean, what about it? It doesn't appear to be on the table.
100% is it? It's just coffee?
今度休みを取ってどこかに行こうか。ちょっと休んだ方がいいだろ。
あなたがそんなこと言うなんて。
I do appreciate the fact that they're not using flying cars.
I mean, I guess
被害
it's
者はこの部屋の住人
not
ベルナル
the
ド・ランケ
distant future,
ロボット人権法を擁護する団
or
体の幹部です
ironically, even the future from Astro Boy.
人間かはい人間です
No, I think it's Neil deGrasse Tyson who said we have flying cars. They're called helicopters.
おいあんた
I mean, we also legit have
勝
flying
手に
cars
現
too.
場に入らんでもらおうか
They do exist. We just don't
True.
use them because they'd be horrible. The
Yeah.
FAA can't monitor all that shit.
Yep.
よろしくそうかそれは失礼私は死刑のワラス警部だよろしくまあこの通りひどい荒らされようでね何か紛失しているか調べるだけでも一苦労だろういえ物取りの犯行ではないでしょうあなぜわかる
I mean, a lot of impact points on those walls.
そ
I
ん
was
な
about to say.
これだけ荒らされてわかるんですこの部屋は破壊されただけだではこれについてはどう思うねこの頭に突っ立てられた角みたいなのは何かね
So it's a different implication from how it looks.
あ、何不審人物が検問を突破
Because he said sticking through the head. Well, to me, it just looked like two things and the head sitting on
Correct.
top of it.
Yep, I saw the same thing.
早く救急ヘリを襲われたのは君だけかねジュンさ検問に当たっていたロビーが相棒の
That's some nasty
ロ
bruising.
ボット PRC1332 型が巡査ロボットがこんな簡単に破壊されるとは
Double funny for me.
警部
I shouldn't say funny, but my cousin's name is Robbie, or Robert. We all call him Robbie. But also, you know, Robbie the robot,
Yeah.
very first TV robot.
おい二人一組で行動しろと
That's how I would die. Jumping over a curb, not realizing there was a giant drop on the other side.
The other side, oh shit.
Yeah, it'd be the ending of my movie, right? The fall. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
Yeah. Or if the movie continues, it's about your rehab to getting to be able to use your legs again.
Oh, yeah.
Does he check the corner? Yeah, not bad.
It is pretty smooth animation.
Agreed.
Stop resisting, said the cop.
ドラッグ中毒かドラッグの種類はノイ摂取したのは40分前そんなところかどこの売人から手に入れたカルハイツ通りのシルクってやつだよ何時頃そいつと会った明け方5時前くらいだよその売人の証言が取れればお前のアリバイは成立するベルナルド・ランケ殺害の犯行時刻だ殺害お前はただ違法ドラッグ取締りから逃れるため巡査を鉄パイプで殴り巡査ロボット
通称ロビーを破壊した。権利を読み上げておとなしく逮捕されるのと。
I gave him the option.
Yep.
安心しろ。この銃からは催眠ガスが噴射するだけだ。私は人間を撃てないようにできている。私はロボットだ。
I'm built in such a way I can't hurt humans. Cracks 3 ribs with a kick.
ユーロポール特別捜査官。
I mean,
何か。
ロビーさんの奥様ですね。
はい。
悲しいお知らせです。
so they even do it with the robot eyes. I mean, that they dilate out.
Yep.
Same way that a human would.
Yeah.
人間と同じように生活をやることで、ロボットはより人間らしい感覚をアップグレードされる。確かにその通りですけど、お茶を飲む喜びまではなかなかわかりませんよね。特に私みたいな旧式のロボットだと。私、ある家のメイドをやってましてね。そこの男の子が、もちろん人間の男の子よ。その子が生まれる前から、その家には犬がいたの。もう兄弟みたいに育って。でも、その犬が死んだんです。
記憶、データの一部を消去しましょうか。
あの人の思い出、消さないで。
That's the most appealing thing of shows like this. Like I've also watched Upload again recently, where they can also erase your memories.
There's something terrifying about that too.
You say, but I'd be down. I would get rid of so many memories.
I could see it.
なんだこの角みたいなものは。わかりません。ただこれは
Hey, remember this thing from the beginning of the show?
Yeah.
角まさか2つの事件の犯人が同一人物だというのか。モンブランのような頑丈なロボットをバラバラにすることなど人間には不可能です。またランケ殺害の犯行推定時刻、あの部屋にランケ以外の人間の痕跡はありませんでした。人間の痕跡がない。ちょっと待てゲジ人、ランケは人間だぞ。ええ、ロボット法第13条、ロボットは人間を傷つけたり殺したりできない。もしも人間を
That has to be a translation error, by the way. A robot should not be able to? There's a difference between doing it and being able to.
Correct.
犯人は私が探します。ロボットだろうと人間だろうと、そいつには悪魔が宿っています。
おかしな台座だろう。本当ならあの上にモンブランの銅像が立つはずだった。でもモンブランはそれに反対したのさ。自分の銅像なんかでアルプスの景観を壊しちゃいけないってね。それ
Interesting.
ばかりか、自分はいずれ鉄くずに
But now that he's dead, he can't argue.
体の
So fuck
や
his wishes.
粉々にして溶かして再利用してくれって。それがあんな元気なうちに。
モンブラン、彼は真の勇者でした。
Wouldn't robots be in their prime always if you keep them updated?
Depends. Right, I guess you could always make better robots.
Fair enough.
現在のアジアの平和はありえなかったでしょう。そして彼は詩人でした。
Also, clearly the professor here is emotionally attached, so, you know.
Yeah.
あそこにいる彼らは皆無償でこの作業に参加している。みんなモンブランを私の息子を心から愛してくれていた。
モンブラン、彼は山の守り神。
3日後の追悼式には数万、いや数十万の人が集まってモンブランの死を悼むだろう。刑事さん、あれは事故なんかじゃない。モンブランが粉々になったのは山火事の直前に起こった巨大な竜巻のせいだと言われているが、決してそうじゃない。刑事さん、犯人を捕まえてくれ。捕まえたら
Huge
この手で
tornado.
この手で。
スイス、いえ、人類の誇り。モンブラン。
We now know that whatever did this may be able to make tornadoes.
目が覚めたかい、ゲジヒト。
Still, dream or
定期メンテ
memory?
ナンスは終了だ。
ありがとうホフマン博士。で、どうでした？
ああ、特に異常なし。ただロボットは疲れないと思ってる人間が多いが、これだけ人間に近づくとロボットだって疲れるんだよ。逆に言えば人間の体だってメカニズムなんだ。使いすぎればどんなメカニズムも疲労する。
疲労？
ずいぶんややこしい仕事を抱えてるみたいじゃないか。
I guess that also goes a ways to your prime
テレビでや
comment.
ってたが、
Fair
こ
enough.
こで見てられなかったよ。報道じゃ電磁的爆発が体内で発生、自爆って説も流れてるが、専門家の私に言わせれば、
Are they implying that they made self-repairing robots that's terrifying?
誰からも愛されていたロボットの破壊。
I mean, why is it terrifying? There's literally Article 13, remember?
そう簡単にはいかないか。一方、君の捜査しているもう一つの事件、これも面倒だ。あのランケって被害者、
That's basically the setup for Skynet.
とかで何度か見てるが、ありゃ命狙われるよ。
Alright, well, one of the precepts of Astro Boy is that robots earned their right to be considered human.
Okay.
So we're already past Skynet, really.
Oh, okay. That piece of knowledge helps it a little bit.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's, like, any intelligences in, like, computers and whatnot. Like, all the intelligent robots are in robot
人
form.
間がま
So,
だ生体反応を残さずに部屋に侵入することは可能ですか？
それは君の操作システムに反応しないほどの痕跡を残さずにという意味かい。
はい。
ああ、面白いね。何かやり方が。次までの宿題だ。いや、悪かった。ここはリラックスする場所だ。仕事の話はなし。
like I said, I'm in a weird position of
今度
I don't know the story
妻とどこかに行こうかと
of this, but I know everything that happens.
妻の仕事
So-
もあるしいつになるかわかりませんが。
旅行はいい。
His investigations, everything like that nature, mystery to me. But I know what happens to him, and I know where it happens, and I know.
You have the visual, but you don't know the context whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like I had a scrying orb. I can tell you what I saw.
日本か
Don't know what it's about.
妻に話してみます。
ところでゲジヒト、以前言ってた夢はまだ見るのかい？
So it is a dream.
ええ。
Oh, I should also point out the world's greatest robot storyline. He's not the main character.
Oh.
As far as I can tell, he's the main character of Pluto. He's not the main character in that, though.
だが実際に夢を見るロボットにはなかなか出会えなくてね。話す気になったらぜひ聞かせてくれないか。
え
20世紀の心理学者フロイ
So
ト
within Pluto, then would he be the sort of Astro Boy
夢は
replacement?
現実に起きたことの表出であり、想像の産物ではない。
It's not a spoiler to say this because it's in this episode. Astro Boy is in the show.
Okay,
Astro Boy is the main character
got
in
it.
that
Got it.
in that storyline, and of course in Astro Boy because that's
Yeah.
where it takes place. This guy shows up there too, but he's not the main character. He doesn't even appear that often. So I think
Makes
we're
sense.
just seeing that whole storyline from what was this guy doing during that whole thing.
巡査ロボットの
Got it.
そうみたいだな。鑑識から調査終わったんで処分してくれって。
ロビー。
お
ちょっと見させてもらっていいかな。
ああ、いいよ。欲しい部品があったら持ってきな。どうせガラクタだ。どうした？
いや、なんでもない。
Memory
なんで
unlocked.
もないんだ。
Well, now I'm confused.
ご主人
In my
の
memory of
何
watching this first episode the first time, I thought those things happened right next to each other, not that he remembered it.
にと
とんでもないわ。心から感謝します。ありがとう。
じゃあ、私はこれで。
これを私に入れていただけませんか？
辛い記憶かもしれませんよ。誤作動を起こす可能性もあります。その時はすぐに取り出しますよ。
彼がここにいる。
奥さん、やめましょう。ご主人の最後の記憶も収められている。取り出しますよ。
何かしら。何かしら。
I mean, it's
どうしたんです？
I think to Ready Player One, the sequel, Ready Player Two, that becomes a big thing. People experiencing people's last moments of life.
That would be a trip.
Oh, that's also in the Cyberpunk game.
Yeah.
これが犯人です。すみませんでした。こんなものを持ってきた私がいけなかった。なんとお詫びしていいか。
違うの。夫は犯人の鉄パイプに瞬時に反応しています。捕獲用の銃も構えている。
わかります。巡査用ロボットのご主人がこんな簡単に襲われたのは疑問でした。これは非常に稀なケースで。
違うの。もう一度よく見て。
He was distracted by something.
私、記憶チップを入れてるからわかるの。
That's exactly what it seems like.
同僚の巡査が襲われて、この瞬間まで夫は犯人の動きを完全に捉えています。
He also didn't move in when the criminal
次の
attacked.
瞬間、夫は何かに気を取られた。
これはランケが殺害されたアパルトマン。
Well, you know, I missed that the first time too.
止めてください。なんだこれは。
拡大するわ。
鳥じゃないな。なぜこんなものが映ってるのを鑑識は気づかなかったんだ。
記憶チップを挿入していなければ一瞬のことで気づかないわ。
I would have thought it was a speck on my monitor.
瞬間的に捉え、彼の識別
あ
システム
yeah.
これが何なのかを分析しています。
識別ってビルからビルへこんな真似ができるのは。
ええ。でもこれはロボットじゃない。
Yeah, I missed the first time around that was the building where that guy got murdered in.
人間の痕跡のない部屋で起きた
Not even that. Whatever jumped out isn't a
誰かに回さ
robot.
れたロボットの死。角。
識別しました。お入りください。
But how do they know it's not a robot? She said that, but how would she know? Because of a spec?
Fair enough.
Or because it murdered a guy and they think robots can't murder people?
刑事さん。
That could definitely be the case, but also if she could scan it and it didn't pick up that way,
識別
then
できんね。
I don't know.
奴に近づくと強烈な電磁波で君の人工知能がイかれることがある。このプロテクターを。大丈夫です。私は電磁波は効きません。え？特殊な合金でできているんです。こう見えてもね。そうか。ならいいが、気をつけたまえ。今までここで4人のロボットが奴の犠牲になっている。
I mean, why take the risk, right?
Yeah. You have to look cool for dramatic effect.
滑稽なほど必死で作り上げたバリケードだろう。結局人間はこうでもしないと抑えられないんだ。恐怖を。
ブラウ1589。
Guess if you wanted a Skynet analog, this would be this guy.
Very much so.
君が最高性能の刑事ロボットか。
識別装置はまだ働いているようだね。
ああ、おかげさまでむしろ前より敏感になってしまってね。こうして動くことを取り上げられるとどうにも気になってしまうのだよ、外のことが。
今日はあなたに聞きたいことがあってきた。
何よ。8年前人間を殺したロボットが何を考えていたかい？
Also kind of a Silence of the Lambs
エルダル
thing.
ド・ランケという法学者が
Yeah, this is very much giving Hannibal Lecter
だが
vibes.
殺害現場に人間の痕跡はなかった。犯人は人間なのか、それとも
ロボットか。もしロボットならなぜそんなことをしたのか。人間たちはね、細部にわたり調べ上げたんだよ。殺人を犯した私の人工知能を。必ずどこかに欠陥があるはずだと。だが、そんなものはどこにも見当たらなかった。私の人工知能には一つの欠陥もなかったんだよ。
That's a messed up statement.
その時の人間たちの恐怖が。
Yeah.
だから私をこん
The
なところ
perfect
に
AI
留めておくんだ。
that killed people was still perfect.
Yep.
私は死ぬ。なのにそれさえもできないんだよ、人間たちは。ゲジスト警部、殺人を犯したやつのことを知りたいならメモリーチップを交換しようじゃないか。そうすれば何かわかるかもしれないよ。
破壊されたモンブランとラン家の殺害現場をプリントアウトしたものだ。その角の意味、何だと思う？
ヨーロッパの古き神々。死の神には角がついていた。戦士の魂を奪う狩人ハーン
Turn the hunter.
角の王と呼ばれた。ギリシャ神話においては冥界の王ハデス、あるいはローマ神話の冥王 プルート。
Name
プ
drop.
ルート。
この犯人
They
の
said the name. They said the name of the
や
thing.
る。モンブランという最高性能を誇るロボットがいとも簡単に破壊された。もう答えは出ているはずだ。世界の科学技術の粋を集めて作り上げられた最高峰のロボットたち。大量破壊兵器にもなりうるロボットたち。
Some might call them the world's greatest
もう答
robots.
えは出ている。
Oh snap.
だろう？君も含めてあと6人だ。
So we know the targets now.
It's funny because in the 1963 version of this, there's literally just like an image that keeps popping up with like the faces of all the world's greatest robots. Okay, here in the transition between scenes, I think I should mention. When I said I watched bits of the 1963 one, I watched the first episode, and then, as I said, jumped 177 episodes in the future. So people just show up that I have no fucking idea who they are.
Love
So
that.
I'm assuming that guy is in somewhere, the original, that I just don't know who he is. Same way
I
if
would love
they,
if he wasn't and he just shows up at that point.
well, I mean, some way if the world's greatest robots all had like episodes of their own and backstories and shit before the world's greatest robots arc.
仕事中
Mhm.
だ。
I have no idea.
こんなところに突っ立っている
I would hope so.
勝手に入り申し訳ございません。セキュリティが解除されていたもので。目が不自由でいらっしゃるのに不用心です。こんな荒野にまでやってくる物取りなどいやせん。しかしダンカン様。もういい。新しい羊か。はい。どうせまたろくでもないものをよこしたんだろう。名前は？はい。ノース2号と申します。味もそっけもない。
That's an interesting design.
紹介業者から聞いた話では、お前は軍隊出身だそうじゃないか。はい。第39次中央アジア紛争の際、ブリテン軍総司令官の執事をしておりました。ああ、軍人の召使いとは、さぞや武骨な姿をしとるんだろう。人前ではケープを羽織るようにしています。なるほど。全身が武器ということか。お茶を入れてもらおう。承知しました。
They've referenced the war, by the way, quite a number of times already.
ダンカン様のデータはすべて入力されています。
It can't be someone who was involved in the war doing this though. That
Why
would
is
make no
that?
sense.
I mean, why is that?
They've referenced it a couple times. You know, people who are involved in war are just like completely rational people. So
それもデータの一つか。いえ、心から感動いたしました。
Slowly learning to read sarcasm from you.
どうぞ。スコアを書けば大ヒット。映画音楽賞総なめ。盲目の天才音楽家。お前の頭にはメディアの評価
That's
も
a
入力され
hell of a garden.
That he can't see.
Yeah.
どうだふざけるな。今だってその気になればいくらでも書いてやるさ。天才は健在だ。私が書けば観客は拍手喝采。涙を流して映画館を後にするだろうよ。書けないのではない。書かんのだ。もうあんなくだらんものはな。しかし、今もお仕事をされていました。とても美しい曲でした。あれは映画のためではない。私のための曲だ。私のためだけの。名前と同じだな。は。味もそっけもない。
Not to poke fun or anything, but his nose is so long he's gonna burn it on the tea when he takes a sip.
ポンコツ兵器が私の芸術を語るな。申し訳ございません。
That's messed up that that garden doesn't have automatic sprinklers.
Well, I mean, because you'd have to tear up the ground a bit to install such a thing, which would mess with everything else.
Fair enough.
何人殺した？は、中央アジア紛争でその体で何人殺したと聞いているんだ。
ロボット法により人間を傷つけることは禁じられています。
じゃあ仲間を殺したのか？何体のロボットを破壊した？数えきれないほどか。あっち行け。味気ない食事が余計に味気なくなる。
失礼いたします。
This is someone. This old man is clearly super social and loves to talk to people.
I mean, it's the mentality of a person who's isolated themselves in the mountains, right?
Fair enough.
何をしている？私のピアノに触るな。
申し訳ございません。ピアノだけでお仕事をされているのですね。
それがどうした？
これだけ最新の楽器が揃っているのに。
こいつらお前と一緒だ。偽物のバイオリン、偽物のトランペット、偽物のオーケストラ。本物のふりをしても所詮は機械だ。私が人工の目を入れないのもそのためだ。機械の力を借りて物が見えたとしても、それは偽物だ。そんなものは必要ない。本物の風景は私の記憶の中にある。
本物の風景。
I mean, he's dedicated to his thoughts enough that he's willing to, the eyes.
Yep. Very, very traditional.
ボヘミアですね。
それも私のデータが。そんなデータ、肝心なものは何一つ入っちゃいない。あのふるさとの風景、あの緑の大地、そよぐ風、そしてあの金色に輝くあの風景を音楽に。
That explains the motivation for the music.
At least the motivation to stop making music for movies.
Yep. He's about to go play the piano. At
See,
least that's the vibe we got.
I've never known anyone to hum in their sleep, by the way.
私のピアノに触るなと言ったはずだ。
申し訳ございません。
お前のような機械がいくら譜面通りに弾いても、そんなもんは偽物だ。
ダンカン様、大変失礼ながら、昨夜ダンカン様の寝室からうなされている声が。しかし、どこか歌を歌っていらっしゃるようにも聞こえました。そのメロディーがぴったり当てはまるように思うのです。今ダンカン様が書いておられるあの曲、途中で止まってしまうあの。
Oh, that's interesting.
正確ではありませんが、このような。
出て行け。お前のようなロボットに用はない。この屋敷から出て行け。
しかし、
主人の命令だ。出て行け。
ピアノを
Also, by the way,
ピ
point
ア
in
ノを弾
fact,
けるようになりたいのです。
なんだと？
ダンカン様がおっ
these
しゃるよ
two
うに
scenes together
私がいくら弾いても
are already 5
偽物かも
times as
しれませ
long
ん
as they were in the episode that I
少
saw.
しでも本物に近づ
Wow.
けるように
Oh yeah, no, they're
お
on
前
screen
の
for
よ
like
うなボケ
3
で
minutes
ピアノだと
in the
弾ける
original
ものか。
version. So they're really feeling out the relationship between these two.
やめろ。それは破壊兵器が
That
吹い
means
た
that
も
one
の
of
ではない。
them might
お
be
前には
dying
戦
soon.
場がお似合いだ。
だからです。だから弾けるようになりたいのです。もう戦場に行きたくないから。
They're very much playing up the human aspect of robots.
Well, remember what I said before. Robots earned the right to be called human.
I also just had an interesting thought with the fact that robots are programmed to not be able to hurt humans. What happens if they accidentally do?
できております。
首だと言ったはずだ。いないのか。
Maybe they can't.
We'll see.
何度言えばわかる。
I mean, that's the whole premise behind iRobot, isn't it?
私のピアノに
Yeah.
触るな。
ダンカン様、聞いてください。多少弾けるようになったかと。
弾けるようにだと。機械の上達なんてのはより正確になったぐらいのものだ。
ダンカン様が寝言で歌っておられるメロディーを弾いてみます。
お前たちの出している音は音楽ではない。こんなものはデータさえ入力すれば無限のメロディーラインを想像するだと。そんなものは音楽でも何でもない。
I'm starting to think maybe it wasn't his choice to stop making music for movies.
では聞くが、お前は戦争で仲間をどれだけ壊した？
Wait, why you say that?
It's possible that he stopped getting work because robots just made infinite what the sound that they were looking for.
大量破壊兵器もご主人様の前では従順にプログラミングされていますか？いいだろう。ならば正真正銘、私の正確なデータを入力してやる。ようと私がうなされているのはなぜか。長年見続けている悪夢。いや、これが現実に起きた私の過去だ。私の
Here we
本
go.
名はポール・ダンカンではなく、パウロ・ホリー、ボヘミアの貧しい家に生まれた。
Paolo Holy is so much cooler of a name than Paul Duncan.
生まれつき重い
Yeah,
病
you
を
know,
患い
some people have to westernise their names.
死の子のようだった私の楽しみといえば歌を歌うことぐらいだった。母は美しかった。みすぼらしい姿でも街へ出れば男たちが振り返った。
Oh man, always about that one thing.
Yeah.
そして母もあの男の金に目がくらんだ。それで足手まといになったんだろう。病気がちな私を母は私を捨てた。
Oh, that's rough.
英国の寄宿学校に入れられた。友人はできず、病弱な私は年中いじめに遭っていた。そんな中でも音楽の勉強だけは必死に続けた。無理を重ねすぎたか、ある時から発熱が続き、それも続けることができなくなった。いくつもの病院をたらい回し
I mean, at least not such a horrible place that nobody cared that you
100%. Despite the fact that kids are throwing kids to the ground and just laying boots to them.
捨てられた子供の最後はこんなもんだろうと。そんな時、日本人の医者が現れた。正確には医者ではなく、モグリの医者だった。
君の命を助けてやる。だが、代わりに視力を失うかもしれない。
手術は成功した。ただ、そのモグリの医者の言った通り、視力は日に日に衰えていった。残りわずかな時間、私はそれまで以上に音楽の勉強に打ち込んだ。私には音楽しかない。もっと音楽を、もっと、もっと、もっと。そして闇が訪れた。
So you're gambling on the fact that he's the John Henry of music.
Realistically, yeah.
Which is a pretty cool tag name, I think.
It definitely is.
知ってるが、この城はその成金が持っていたものだ。パウロ・ホリーから天才ポール・ダンカン。音楽界の巨匠となった私はこの城を手に入れた。母さん、あんたの欲しかったものはこれだ。子供を捨ててまで手に入れたかったものはこれだ。母さん、あんたに本当に大事なもの
Yeah, he at least has a very, very valid reason for feeling the way he does.
Well, I mean, legit, he's doing the whole the best revenge is a life well lived or whatever.
Yep. 100%.
あなたのお母様は
黙れ。推薦状を書いてやる。明日ここを出て行け。
ピアノを弾けるようになりたいのです。もう戦場に行きたくないから。
He's gonna crack and teach him. Crazy visuals on those explosions.
Well, welcome to the war.
War never changes.
Well, I mean, this looks different. Our man here was just built different.
At the end there, he cut right to the point.
日の出発に備えてチャージ中。
How'd you get into the kitchen without noticing it?
Yeah.
うなされているのか。
They gonna become
ロボ
friends.
ットも夢を見るのか。
As we maybe learned from the first bit with the other guy.
書けなくなったのではない。書かんのだか。はい。ノース2号。ノース2号、はい。本当に出て行ったか。
You were saying?
書けなくなったのかもしれない。
'Cause that's what a phone looks like.
Okay. Okay, so a phone's a record player. But like a miniature. That's okay.
I appreciate the confidence to make a phone not look like a phone.
Yeah.
実はある映画の音楽について。
仕事の依頼か。話によっては聞いてやらんこともない。
Now to defeat your other theory about his music.
It absolutely is.
新作じゃないのか。
おいえ、サーダンカンはもう引退されたと聞いておりますが。
See, they still want his music.
でも勝手に使え。
サーダンカン。
メッセージが届きました。
ブリティッシュ・フィルハーモニー・オーケストラ企画室のラッセルです。以前お話ししたサーダンカンの組曲の上演ですが、諸事情により中止とさせていただくことになりました。誠に残念ですが、いずれまた機会が。
Well, to be fair, it's more of a mixed message on this one.
Yeah.
The one guy wanted it, the other guy canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't know about robots authoring music. Literally, you could set up a program to literally just write every combination of notes, because it's just a limited combination. It's finite. You know, and then just trademark every version of that. Yeah, there's a couple million versions of song, and then everything else, Rack just just trademark the rest of the billion songs that you know.
You'd become the richest person on Earth.
I'm pretty sure they'd make a law against it immediately. One person does not get to.
They would have to.
One person doesn't get to just overflow the entire system like that.
Yeah, that's a song. I own it.
I recognize that chord. To be fair, though, I guess if you trademarked billions of different chords, you'd never even recognize if you were being ripped off or not. You need a second computer to
100%.
figure it all out.
At that point, you would just have to hire somebody to go through and listen and find music just to use your trademarks.
ダンカン様、ただいま戻りました。
なんだ、出て行けと言ったはずだ。
ボヘミアへ行っておりました。ダンカン様のふるさとへ。
そんなところに何の用だ。
歌を採取してまいりました。あの地方の民謡をたくさん採取する中で見つけたのです。ダンカン様が寝言で歌っていらっしゃるあの曲を今から歌います。
やめろ。機械の歌など聞きたくない。これ以上私の悪夢に入り込むな。人間には忘れてしまいたいものがあるんだ。
ダンカン様の夢は
I was gonna say, this is either a real good therapy or just a way to make someone relive horrible memories.
おっしゃる通り、私はただの兵器です。第39次中央アジア紛争では何体もの敵軍のロボットを、いえ、私の仲間を何万体も破壊しました。その記憶を、何万人もの仲間を殺した記憶を、私の人工知能がリピートするのです。
That's my only thing about that is that we already got told earlier in the episode that they can delete their memories if they wanted to.
その老人は民謡に詳しく、あの曲を知っていました。そして、あの曲の素晴らしい歌い手がいたことも覚えていました。あなたのお母様です。私の中のダンカン様のデータ、お母様に関しても入力されています。お母様は、重い病気を患うあなたを捨てたのではありません。あなたの病気を治すために、大富豪のジョナサン・ソーン氏に近づいたのです。だから、あなたの命を救った医師への莫大な謝礼も支払うことができた。あなたは捨てられたのではありません。視力を失ったあなたのすぐそばまで、お母様はやってきていました。しかしお母様は、
She just did what she had to do.
知り、手を差し伸べることができなかった。
そんな。
Oh, that's a fucking stab, isn't it?
本当です。
Oh yeah.
あなたはふるさとを思い出すとき、大切な記憶を削除していませんか？村の老人が言っていました。ふるさとの大地に沈む夕日を眺めながら、あなた方親子が手をつないで、この曲を歌っていたことを。
This old man's just going through it right now.
I don't know that it wouldn't be one of those things that'd be better not to know.
I kind of agree with you.
Hey, old man, who hates your mother so much you've dedicated your whole life to this getting it over on her, and she in fact knew that you hated her and was there the whole time. How does that make you feel?
Doesn't that make you feel like a great person?
申し訳ありません。
And then you apologize.
あなたの夢は悪夢などではない。私の夢とは違う。
ノーシュニゴ、お前はもう戦場へなど行くな。ピアノの練習をしよう。
はい。
I really don't get why they gave him RoboCop face, though.
Neither do I, because even if you were designed for war, you wouldn't need RoboCop face.
Yeah, don't point stuff out to the blind guy.
Hey, do you see those birds that you can't see? The fact that the blind guy has the nicest garden most people can imagine.
Well, to be fair, that's all he can do, too.
True. They held way too long on that pause. I thought something was going to happen to Sir Duncan.
はい。ぜひ聞かせていただきたいのですが、今は
どうした？
何かがこちらに近づいてくるのです。
The smart ass in me is constantly going off. Just now I was organizing the library and then I realized you can't read these books.
お聞きになりましたか？
スイスのニュース。ああ、モンブランとかいうロボットが竜巻にあって大破したっていうあれか？
And yes, before there's a smart ass comment out there, yes, they could be a library full of Braille books. I understand that. That's not what the joke is based on.
何か脅威が近づいています。
Hey, if the books are Braille, the garden could be Braille as well.
すぐに戻ります。
Yeah, that's what people like to do. Feel flowers, right?
100%. I knew things were going too well.
一体何が？何が起きているんだ？ノース2号。
Crazy weather effects.
これはあの歌だ。大気いっぱいにあの歌が。ノース2号が。ノース2号が歌っている。
I appreciate the editing choice, but it's slightly mean to show in the death of the robot in the old man's eyes.
早く帰ってこい。
Fair.
の主任を
I mean,
ピアノの練
it is
習
good
に
animation.
時間だぞ。
Oh, phenomenal animation.
Yeah, in the original, that last 3 minutes was all I ever saw of those two together. So the 30 minutes before that, building up their whole relationship, did not know before I watched Pluto.
Interesting.
カタツムリかい？
はい。
はじめまして。君がアトムくんだね。
はい。
And of course, if you didn't know, Astro Boy's name is Adam.
I did not. However, from the way that interaction went, I connected the dots right away.
I guess question I didn't ask in the beginning.
Yeah.
When I asked you if you know Astro Boy, obviously you meant you know about Astro Boy.
Yes, I know of Astro Boy. I know the visual.
Do you
All of that.
know the origin story or any of that?
No.
Okay. Because that was my excitement for when I was trying to watch this with Griffin, is that Griffin didn't know Astro Boy either, or his origin story. I don't know if they're going to show it here, but considering it's the very first, popularized anime on TV, I think I covered this in my little recap thing I did in when I was watching Astro Boy 1963 solo.
Yeah.
But also, I may have said this in the original recording I did with Griff, and I don't think I did it here. The history of anime. Obviously, there were anime movies released before 1963 for obviously a long period of time. There was also a series about history that was released on TV before 1963's Astro Boy, but it's like fallen out into obscurity. Like, you can't find clips of it anywhere anymore. 1963's Astro Boy is the first TV thing that comes after that history animation thing.
Okay.
And it is the very first successful anime as well. I think, I can't remember I had the statistic when I did this with Griff. It was like 40% of the Japanese population watched Astro Boy when it first came on.
Wow, that's massive.
Well, I mean, also you gotta figure how many people had TVs in 1963 Japan. Well, I guess maybe a lot. I mean, considering now that I'm saying that out loud, it is Japan right after the boom, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that offensively, the boom. I mean the electronics boom.
100%. Yeah.
So yeah, maybe a lot. And they did not make it to high quality. They made it intentionally cheap, just as a proof of concept. And that's why everything else that comes out after it later looks just a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Well, because any sort of long-standing media kind of follows in that trend already, where the first one or two outings are clearly low budget, then if it's successful, the budget slowly increases.
Oh, no. I mean, like, the whole 200 run episode of Astro Boy is pretty cheap. He used it as a jumping off point to get other shows then made. But they still had like 200 episodes of Astro Boy.
Hey, if it's popular and you can make it work.
Well, it's just that it has serious elements, and then other parts can just fit into a Popeye cartoon.
Yeah. Well, that's also really that happens in most forms of storytelling. And
I mean, I want to say more, but I can't give examples because it would like play out. Because all I know is the first episode, which is the origin story, and I don't want to spoil that in case it gets shown. And the only other example I know is literally this. I mean, not Pluto, but I mean World's Greatest Robots, which is what this is based on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's your breakdown of the episode here?
I feel like it was a lot of setup for what the story is actually going to be. It was entertaining, it was beautiful. But to me, it feels like setup.
Well, I mean, you already got 2 dead robots.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what the mystery is with the detective.
Yeah, so we've set up that the detective would be one of 8 already.
Probably. But I mean, I'm talking more about the whole nightmare dream thing he keeps going through, and then he goes and talks to a robot that literally killed humans. So
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of that is about.
Yeah, I don't have enough evidence to even try and hypothesize on that.
Also, the dead human, that the murder he's investigating, I also don't remember that from what I saw in World's Greatest Robots, so that's new for me too.
Okay.
So I don't know what his connection is to anything. Still plenty of mysteries for me who has seen the 2-parter from 1963. When I was doing that, I was originally going to watch every version of it because there's what 1, 2, 3, like 4 different versions of Astro Boy that gets released.
Oh shit!
But I decided, watching this and having no idea what's going on is probably the best way to enter into Pluto, because otherwise I'm going to watch Pluto and I'm just going to know everything that happens.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just going to be everything I know and then a lot more added content, and I'm horrible with that. We reacted to Zom 100 on here, which is just a zombie, I don't know, lighthearted. I don't want to call it comedy. It's not. There's comedy elements, but there's serious elements. Anyway, I had read the entire manga. Well, not the entire manga. I had read everything up until well past the point that the anime was covering. And I found all I was doing is 1, comparing it to the manga, and then 2, waiting for things to happen. It's like, I don't want to do that with a show. Was bad.
I could definitely see that happening if you have that prior knowledge.
Well, I just feel it's not a great experience on the other side. Obviously, it's fine by me, but all the back and forth doesn't happen because the back and forth is just, well, that's not right, or that changed, or, it's like, how does that help you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Well, anything else to unpack from this episode?
Not really. I think, as stated, I think it was a lot of setup. I do appreciate the art style and the ability for, and the fact that they made bold choices creatively, like showing the death of the robot in the eyes of the blind guy, basically, because of the glasses.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the blind guy even understands what's going on in the moment. I mean, you would think that he does, but he does say we have piano practice. So I'm assuming that he knows that he's just
sad.
Yeah, that he's just Well, no, I think he's unaccepting of the and it's not just like blindly going on.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, that has been the first episode of Pluto, and I guess we will join you on the next episode, which is, as far as I've gotten, we only got 2 into this before, so hopefully we get further. Anyway, thank you for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, this has been Justin, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?